everyone, Ken here, your thrifty apprentice. Happy Friday, everyone. Today we are going to be doing a unboxing and demo video. I will not put you guys through watching me swatch this set. It is 72 pencils, so I will do that off camera, but we will unbox and do a demo. Today we are taking a look at the Zenacolor Expert Series 72 watercolor pencils. That's pretty much what the front of the box says. It has a very beautiful illustration. I love this. This is so pretty. I just did a eagle in the previous video, and it's really got me in the mood to start doing more animals. I'll see if I can find this in a reference photo. I'm sure somebody will tell me in the comment section what type of bird it is if I don't find it by the time this video comes out, which I probably will. This is just a sales sticker with the UPC code coming from whatever carrier or seller, Amazon. 72 watercolor pencils, 72 rich and vibrant colors, artist quality watercolor pencils for every level of expertise, perfect for art, blending, and layering multiple colors. At Zenacolor, we truly care about our customers and their satisfaction. If you are not delighted with your purchase, please tell us so we can put it right. And then it gives the email address for information. Contact at the website. 14 years and older, conforms to ASTM 4236 regulation. It gives a model number. That's that same code that's on the front. Share your masterpiece with our community. It gives their web or social media links. Hashtag Zenacolor, so people can see. And then it gives their distributor. So BSM International is in Okay, so U.S. importer. Here we go. BSM International LLC in New York City. And then it gives a telephone number. So pretty basic information. It's a pretty thick tin. Let's go ahead and remove the plastic so we can get in here and see what we have. I'm curious as to how these pencils look. Okay, we have a really shiny tin. See, it looks even better out of the plastic. That is so pretty. Okay, latch is pretty cool there. And it's got other stuff in it other than the pencils. Okay, so we have nice latching, no issues. Let's open it up and see what we have. Beautiful swatch of all 72 pencils, including color name on the top of the lid. Okay, that lid is pretty. Okay, so the case is kind of flimsy. The tin is made of really thin material, really thin metal, and it does wobble, so that's not cute. All right, let's see what we have here. Register within 7 days to get free weekly coloring pages. Okay, so you have order has qualified for free weekly designs and more. Nice. So it gives you an access code so you can get free weekly coloring pages. That may be something to look into. Do-it-yourself color chart. Also, it gives you a color chart for you to swatch the pencils on, which already has the color name and the pencil corresponding number as well. Don't forget to register to receive your free drawing as a reminder. And then it gives you a drawing to try the pencils out. So this is definitely targeted towards beginners. It's like a beginner set, definitely. I don't know if I'm gonna swatch on this paper. I have no idea what this is. It feels like maybe a mixed media paper. Okay, we have full barrel swatches. I love that. Love that. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look here. We have this little brush that comes in here with it, which is, I won't even take it out. It's, okay, maybe I will. Let's see if I can get it out. Here we go. It was so small. So it's just a little plastic brush. Not anything that I'm gonna use. I'll probably put it in one of the little craft sets that I give away. Let's take a look at the pencil here. We have a watercolor pencil that is not domed on the end. Look at that, guys. You don't get that often. You can see that the pencil lid is pretty centered right off the bat. I actually like when pencils are like that. Maybe it's just me. I remember the time when most pencils came that way. That's the reason I'm so crazy about Prismacolor as well, because Prismacolors normally don't come domed. You can sharpen from either end if you want, and you can tell when you first pull the pencils out the pack whether or not the lid is centered. But of course, you can always sharpen to tell it as well. Full color swatch barrel. Now, the pencil only has the logo watercolor pencil with a brush to let you know that it is a watercolor pencil. And then WC, which I'm assuming stands for watercolor 054, which is the identification number with the company for the pencil in a corresponding color. But the thing is, the color name is not printed on the actual barrel. It's kind of crazy. Come on now. Really? You can put the number on there. I would have rather you put the name than the number. Okay, this is not a review. Let's not critique. Stay focused. So the color names seem to be only on the top of the lid. So you can always, well, okay, wait. The names are here, but there is no number there. Okay, so you have to use a swatch sheet. Okay, the color chart. The color chart is gonna tell you the number and the name, so you can swatch. Oh, come on! You can swatch the. You can match the number up on here with the name and swatch it. I guess I'm gonna have to take like a piece of tape and put on here and write the actual color name on the barrel. That's a lot to do for 72 pencils. Okay, so you have two trays. It's pretty fancy. It's gonna be 3 trays actually. This is 72 pencils. Looks like a beautiful array of colors though. None of the barrels look cracked. It's a round barrel, so it will be prone to rolling. All of the lid seems okay. That one seems a little chipped. They don't seem dry or brittle. They have been jumbled around a little bit by me. And you guys, I know I've told you before, the one thing you want to always do is try your best to avoid ever dropping your pencils. I don't care who makes it. I don't care what grade it is, student or professional. Just, you want to try to avoid that. Let's see here. All right, same here. Everything looks pretty decent. Nothing seems uneven. Doesn't seem to have any weird pencils, weirdly shaped. We have a chip lid there. So that's a second chip lid. One there. That's 3. That one's a little brittle and chipped. That's 4. Like I said, I've had the pencils for a year though. So maybe this, I'm gonna attribute that to me, but there's a broken chip. There's chip 5, 6, and 7. All those seem pretty normal, nothing weird. Well guys, there you have that. That's the pencils. So far, don't see any real issues with it other than like the fact that they didn't put the name on the barrel, which is crazy. They don't have the number corresponding to the lid, so you could just use the lid. So you can't really figure out what color you have there. You have to use a swatch sheet in order to get the number and the color name. So you would have to use this swatch sheet for reference, or flat out make your own and just transfer this information. which is probably what I'm going to do, just to make sure I swatch it on the paper I normally use. Okay, so there's the first look unboxing of the pencils. I am going to swatch them, and then we'll come right back for a painting demo. Okay, so I swatched the pencils out on the universal mixed media paper, or universal pad, excuse me, mixed media paper that I normally swatch on. I swatch watercolor pencils on mixed media paper because it's sort of my in-between paper, and I can gauge from how they perform on this paper as to how they will on a watercolor paper, or maybe a Bristol board, or even cardstock, which I use watercolor pencils on all those forms of paper. They did okay. I will say, you know, this isn't a review, but I will go ahead and say that the lids of the pencil, in my opinion, are pretty brittle. I had a lot of breakage. I had to do a lot of sharpening, and even after sharpening, some of the pencils were still broke. Some of the lids were still broken, and they broke really easily under the slightest amount of pressure. So I mean, that is something I'm going to have to deal with throughout testing these pencils, so I did want to mention that. Now I swatched them here and dispersed them with water. Then I swatched them in mass tone on the included swatch sheet, which I believe is mixed media paper as well. Just so I can have a general idea when using the pencils of what color I am grabbing, just in case. And you know what, for all intents and purposes, the barrels are pretty on. I mean, the color is pretty on with the color swatching on the barrel, so that was pretty cool. This is the composition I chose to do, something easy and kind of straightforward, just to kind of get a preliminary run of the pencils. So we're going to jump into doing this demo. All right, my friends, as we start off with this tutorial, demo, should I say, I am using several different colors. I'm going to be using 2 different shades of gray, the lighter and the darker tone, a couple different shades of brown, definitely black, 2 different shades of blue, and maybe a few other colors. So here I am, or should I say, I decided to practice on drawing more glassware. And I had this idea, well, you know what, let's draw a landscape inside the glass and make it look like the landscape is the actual liquid. So after I got everything sketched out into this book, this sketchbook, which is Strathmore 400 series 140-pound cold press acid-free watercolor paper. That is the Strathmore that's in the brown cover, which is worlds better than the yellow cover, but not quite as good as the Strathmore 500 series, which has a white cover and is 100% cotton watercolor paper. Just a little bit about those. Now, I got all of my sky and my water kind of sketched in and colored in, and then I brought some of those colors down into the bottom of the actual goblet, which is holding the landscape, simply because in glassware you would have these colors from inside your glass reflecting down into both the stem and the bottom of the glass. Not nearly as vibrant or bright, but definitely those colors would carry down into anything that's clear. I'm using a synthetic golden Taklon round creative expressions brush in order to disperse my pigment, and you'll also see that I'm using it to pull color directly from each of the lids, or whenever I need it to, in order to add more color to the composition. I have some rocks in the foreground that have been painted with those 2 different brown colors that I was talking about, and now I'm carrying that same exact tone back into the mountain range, but I keep pretty much the same technique that I always use. You're going to keep those mountains in the very back a lighter color, and it's going to become more saturated as you move forward for those items that are closer to you. But at this point, if you have been painting for a while, this should be a technique, especially if you do landscapes, that you're pretty familiar with. Now, the very foreground mountain, or the mountain that is the closest to us, I mixed a lot of black into that brown because I wanted that mountain to be the darkest and the most saturated, so it will look like it's actually closer to us. Now, what you see here is a little makeshift palette that I took sandpaper and scratched and abrased the surface of the palette. That makes a wonderful palette for like watercolor pencils and watercolor crayons, because you can then take that pencil or the crayon and scratch it across the surface of the palette that you have abrased with the sandpaper, and it'll pull that pigment down, allowing me to make a palette that I can actually paint from. Wonderful technique that I learned from the Frugal Crafter years ago, and I've been implementing it into my watercolor pencil and crayon paintings for quite some time. Try it. It is a wonderful technique. I promise you'll like it. At this point, I'm just bringing down some of the reflection onto the surface that sits the glass, and then I'm going in with some bleed proof white to finish everything up. Guys, that's pretty much going to wrap all this up. Hopefully you saw something you like, enjoyed, or picked up on a technique. If you did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel or returning and haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. The video description is going to have all of the relevant links necessary for you to get to the Facebook group, Patreon, Etsy shop, as well as the most recommended product list. Now you're going to see me do a few finishing moves, to finish up the composition, and then I'm going to outline it as I normally do. Next, I'm going to remove the tape, and then that's going to bring us to an end. See you guys next time.